Ladies and gentlemen, the Las Vegas Raiders had a show against the Dallas Cowboys. It was first round pick Tyree Wilson's first game, and we're going to break down every single play from his first game. Tom Brady was in appearance, and the defense struggled, but everything's okay because it's only backups, right? Let's talk about this game and subscribe to this channel for more Raiders content. It's difficult to find positives in preseason, but we gotta find him, and we have it here with Daniel Carlson. Oh my goodness, this kicker kicked a 62-yarder inside Dallas Cowboys Stadium. You gotta love that, knowing that you have the guy who's capable of doing this in any game possible. Great play for Carlson, but not so good of a play from Rob Ryan, the defensive assistant. He tried to toss this ball to a fan, and I think he messed up. Oh my God. And he finally gets it. Congratulations, Rob Ryan. The disappointing aspect of this game was the defense. Even though it was a lot of backups, it was a lot of third string, we did have some starters in Tyree Wilson, which we'll talk about. Will Greer, who is about to be released by the Dallas Cowboys because they traded for Trey Lance. The dude looked unstoppable. The dude looked like freaking Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers combined. Going up against this defense, he had 4 total touchdowns, 2 of them rushing touchdowns, 305 yards, and he was hands down the player of the game. Aiden O'Connell did not do poorly, but the Raiders offense just had a lot of incompletions and stalled out in the red zone, and the Raiders defense just could not stop this guy, especially when he was running with the football. And we were hoping that a pep talk between new minority owner Tom Brady would help out. He was at the game hanging out with Mark Davis the entire time, and the deal has not officially gone through, but I think this is showing that it's about to go through. Brady's in line to be the minority owner, and if he does that, it doesn't look like he's going to play on this team, if that's at all still possible. And Jimmy G, I'm sure he's happy the fact that Brady's still sniffing behind his back while he's trying to do his freaking job. But I guess this is Brady's way of getting back at the guy for getting drafted by Belichick and Robert Kraft when they were both in New England. And it's hilarious. You have Jimmy G not even acknowledge Brady, and Brady trying to talk to Aiden O'Connell and company.
Right. This look good if you walk out with those 4 guys. That's right. That's what will ruin their night. Right. Look good if you walk out.
Go ruin their night. Seems like Hoyer and O'Connell kind of acknowledged him. And then Mark Davis is just sitting there hanging out with his new partner in crime. They got the WNBA. Now they're having the NFL together. And honestly, I've never liked Brady, not only because of the tuck rule. I just think he likes to showboat even though he has it all rigged for him. I think the refs help him out. That's just my honest opinion as a Raiders fan of over 20 years. But at the end of the day, I don't really care if he's a minority owner. He's just signing checks. I still think the dude's pretty lame, and I don't know why he's dressed like he just left Epstein Island right here. I'm joking. Don't sue me. If we don't care about the defense doing poorly because we do not care about backups, then we have to care about Tyree Wilson, who was a first-round pick selected number 7 overall, selected over Jalen Carter. The Raiders could have grabbed Jalen Carter, who looks like a great defensive tackle, but instead they grabbed Tyree Wilson, who's supposed to rotate with Chandler Jones, or there's a possibility they could all be on the field at the same time, but we only saw Tyree Wilson playing on the edge, and there were times where he was nasty, getting in there and freaking knocking down Will Greer, the quarterback right there. Greer trying to get a flag afterwards, but Tyree Wilson did display his power and his physical traits in this game. But there are times when the man seriously struggled. And obviously we should expect him to struggle. It's his first game coming off an injury. He's probably getting some nerves out as well. Here he is at the bottom of your screen right here on a 2nd and 6 play. And this is where they pitch the football, and you can see the wide receiver engage with him right there. He sort of loses his balance in this moment, and the receiver kind of gets in his way, and Tyree Wilson pretty much tramples that wide receiver. I think he would have been able to pursue here, make this play, had that wide receiver not been able to get at his legs sort of like that. And you can see him lose his footing, and then it's a big gain right there. That's not 100% on Tyree Wilson, but the receiver was able to bring him down. And this is the viral play on social media because Tyree Wilson, located right here at the top of the screen, displays his power. He pushes this right tackle all the way back. The only problem is he doesn't really finish the job, and Will Grier is able to look like Lamar Jackson and just scramble like crazy here. You have Tyree Wilson knocking this tackle freaking down. Like I said, he shows his power. He sees the quarterback there, boom, gets blindsided by that other blocker, and then the quarterback just did some great scrambling. I mean, there's other defenders that could be grabbing this guy other than Tyree Wilson, but he's able to escape ultimately. Tyree Wilson not able to reach out in time, sort of makes a step to the left and really just has not a good angle to kind of pursue this quarterback right here. And Will Grier ended up being faster than I think a lot of people realize, and he was just off to the races there. So even though it looked good, Tyree Wilson pushed that right tackle all the way back, still wasn't able to close it in. That last play was a mixed bag. Here's another play from Tyree Wilson's first drive. This is going to be the play action rollout here where Will Grier gets the touchdown. You got Tyree Wilson located right here at the top of the screen, and this is all him and Isaiah Polamau. They do the play action. You got a tight end on Tyree Wilson. You know, tight end against a defensive end. You're supposed to kind of have an advantage there as a defensive end, but it is his first game back, and it looks like he sort of bites on this being a run. I mean, it's kind of hard to see. You don't blame the guy, and he's sort of going in inside, and by that time, Will Grier is already deciding to keep the football, run the football. I think the safety, Isaiah Polamau, should have been able to make this play, but Tyree Wilson not able to have a good angle on the guy, and what I noticed is he sort of goes, you know, a little wide and almost sort of loses his balance. You see that sort of curve there, and you see him sort of just chasing from way far away. I mean, that's just not a good angle. Obviously, you want to get there at a straight line, especially if you know he's going to run the football right now. So he sort of ends up being pushed in this certain angle, having to chase from behind him. And then Polamau is dealing with this tight end here who's able to get in his way, and there's just nothing he could do. I mean, it's kind of a pick play. I think it's kind of offensive PI, but they got away from it a little bit. Yes, it's supposed to be a play action play, but the quarterback's running the ball, and you have people blocking down the field, illegally blocking down the field, in my opinion, but able to get away with that play, and Tyree Wilson not quite able to chase Will Grier, and he gets a touchdown. That's a disappointing play, disappointing angle, but it's not entirely his fault on that play. And this is a moment when Tyree Wilson makes a great play against the run. It's going to go in between the guard and center right here. Tyree Wilson's lined up right here on the edge, but he's able to crash his tackle all the way in to the center, making a huge pile here, disrupting this run. The running back has to hesitate and lands into a wall, and Tyree Wilson's able to wrap up, get this tackle, help make the tackle with several other Raiders there. If it wasn't for Tyree Wilson, you know, using his power to crash that tackle in there, probably wouldn't have gotten that stop. And even though nothing happens for Tyree Wilson on this play, it's at the bottom of the screen, it's a passing play. I wanted to show this play because it's kind of an example of what happened with Tyree Wilson most of his time playing against the Cowboys. They really didn't give him much time to even do anything. There was a lot of quick three-step drops, and this is a perfect example of that. 1, 2, 3, ball's already gone. Tyree Wilson cannot make an impact on the play even if he wanted to. And here's the great rush that we showed you at the beginning when he made contact with Grier, and Grier looked like he was looking for the flag. Tyree Wilson at the top of the screen, you're going to see him take on the tackle and the running back and still be able to get into the quarterback's face. It just shows how much power this guy has, and you could see him make contact with the quarterback, and that's when they tried to get the flag, but they didn't get it, and that really forces this incompletion here. So it was a great play by Tyree Wilson. So yes, it was backups going up against backups, but at the same time, there's some key players who did struggle, and I think Tyree Wilson is one of those guys, but he is getting the rust off. He hasn't played in a long time, and it's his first game back, coming back from injury. And oftentimes the play was not going to him, and the ball was getting released so quickly, there wasn't much he could do about it. But I think his rust did show on that first drive when going up against Will Grier and not really being able to anticipate some of that scrambling, and Will Grier, for some reason, was playing like his hair was on fire. The Raiders are going to have tough decisions to make in terms of who are they going to move on from to make this 53-man roster. We'll keep you up to date on everything happening with the Raiders. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.